this, but we are starting this moving vlog off at a body shop. We have lots of fun and exciting home and moving content to get to in a little bit. A little later today, we have a dining table arriving today. We have grocery shopping to do to finally fill up our empty pantry. We have to run to the hardware store to get a few things. But obviously, there was a situation at hand that needed to be dealt with ASAP. So I've already dropped my vehicle off at the body shop. I've gotten the estimate and everything, and I'm actually now currently in a rental car that I was lucky to be able to secure with Enterprise. So you're probably wondering how we even entered this predicament in the first place. Long story short, I went into the office for a work day, came out at the end of the day to a note on my windshield saying someone had hit my parked car. Thankfully, the at-fault party left their name and contact information, and when I did reach out and ask about their insurance and their policy number, they were quick to provide it and really ethical about everything. Upon contacting the at-fault party's insurance, they took full responsibility for everything, so I'm not paying anything in damages. So as much as I could complain about this being an inconvenience and annoying and not the right timing considering we're just settling into our brand new home, I am just so thankful that a note was left and everything was resolved in a very honest and respectful manner, especially because I've never had anything like this happen to me before. The only damage this car has sustained is a nail in a tire and a windshield crack as a result of a rock flying up from the road and hitting it as I was driving. So this was the first time I've ever had damage to my car done by a separate party. I'm still very young, so it's probably more likely than not that this will happen to me again at some point in my life, but I'm glad it happened the way it did because it was a really good learning experience for me in preparation for potential future issues like this. There were a few things I learned. Number one, when I discovered the note on my windshield, I kind of just took the at-fault party at their word that if I reached out to that individual at that number, they would respond and help work things out with me. And I probably shouldn't have done that in truth. I probably should have reached out to the police so that they could file a police report so that everything was on the record, so that there was documentation made of the incident at the site where it occurred. And number two, it was a little bit overwhelming when I got on the phone with the actual insurance representative because they gave me a ton of different options. And she was very quick to push two options I noticed. Number one being file through my insurance, which luckily I had talked on the phone with my mom about it, and you know, me not knowing anything, I wouldn't have known any better, but she told me you should not have to get your insurance involved. They do not need to be made aware of this incident. So thankfully I had the background knowledge to be able to eliminate that one. And then the second one she kept bringing up repeatedly was that I should try to work through this individual, through the at-fault party, not the insurance, to pay out of pocket for the damage. So basically work outside of insurance, which to me seems very risky. And I could just see a lot of issues happening as a result. For example, if I pick a preferred body shop that maybe charges a little bit more than a different body shop, and then this individual fights me on the body shop that I prefer to get my car repair at. But then obviously the last option was just to file the claim through the at-fault party's insurance, through the rep that I was speaking to. So initially when she was throwing all those options out at me, I was a little overwhelmed and I was a little like, should I be considering all these options? But thankfully I had my thinking cap on and I was able to quickly make the decision to file the claim through the at-fault party's insurance, which is what I will continue to do in the future. But yeah, that was the process. I found the note. I reached out to the at-fault party. They gave me their insurance number. I reached out to the insurance. They tried to convince me of other options before sending me to an actual claims representative who filed the claim for me, sent it to a claims adjuster who then reached out and said they were going to be taking full liability. I set up an appointment with the body shop. They set up the Enterprise rental. Now it's just a waiting game of whenever my vehicle is going to be fully repaired and ready for me to pick up again. All that said though, I think I'm going to head home in my brand new vehicle and wait for that furniture delivery to arrive. I am really excited to see it. It was an online only item, so I've not seen it in person at all before. We kind of took the chance on it knowing that the return policy was good. But my hope is that it will match something in the home, whether it be the flooring or the walls or the cabinetry and the wood. If you watched my last moving video, you saw that I kind of showed you the full vision of the color scheme and that I really want the main floor to be super cohesive, as it's a very open floor plan. So I really want it to be the same color scheme. I don't want there to be a lot of contrast going on. And I want the color scheme to play off of the colors and finishes that were already chosen in the unfurnished home. Best case scenario, the table matches our cabinets perfectly. Second case scenario would probably be matching the floors. Third case scenario, something else. Worst case scenario, it doesn't match anything at all and we just have to return it. But yeah, hopefully we love it. Our dining set is here. We did pull out just one piece, just a chair, to kind of see what the colors were looking like before we put it together in case we did want to return it. Main thing is that this is a lot darker than we actually thought it was going to be. The wood is a little bit darker, a little bit warmer, and then the actual seat cushion is kind of like a dark gray color, and I thought it was going to be a little bit of a lighter gray. However, while the wood is not going to exactly match the cabinets like I had hoped, I think it might be a nice contrast. I think it will actually work out well. And then the gray is actually very, very similar to the gray in the flooring. So I think this will work. Let's start putting together. The dining set is all finished, all put together. It was relatively easy to set up and put together. I felt like the instructions were really clear and it didn't take all that much time, but it looks really, really nice in here. It took some initial adjusting for me because I think my initial expectation based on the photos online was that this wood color would be a little bit more similar to the wood already in the house. Like the colors you see in the cabinets, that kind of grayish cool tone, almost pink toned type of light wash. But as you can see, this is quite a bit darker, a little bit more golden, a little bit more warm. So it definitely doesn't match quite like I hoped it would, but honestly, I'm kind of okay with it because I feel like it makes for a pretty nice contrast in the space. I almost feel like if the wood did match exactly, it wouldn't look as nice. So it's nice that this is a little bit darker than our cabinets because I feel like it makes it stand out a little bit more. And honestly, if you're not looking for it, I feel like you can't really even tell that it doesn't match perfectly. Plus the gray cushions were a nice surprise that they match our floor so well because initially I had thought those were gonna be a light gray, but I am really happy with it, especially for the price we paid. We only paid $550 for this entire set and it was on sale. Normally it's around $700, which is still really good, I feel like, for a 6-piece dining set. It seems really high quality. It looks really high quality. I love the balance of the style between being super cozy and also modern at the same time. I think it fits the space really nicely. Now that that is done, we do have a few more errands to run. We need to stock up our pantry, like I said, get some grocery shopping done. We also need to get a dehumidifier for our basement because, let me just show you really quick actually. I'm taking you down to our basement so you can see what I'm talking about. But as you can see, it is completely unfinished. A lot of concrete, no windows at all. And because of that, our builder said it is extremely necessary that we invest in a dehumidifier to have down here because the space is completely unexposed. It is more susceptible to higher humidity levels down here because concrete in large amounts like this is more susceptible to being infiltrated by water, which can cause issues like mold and just other structural problems. We did put a hydrometer down here just for a little bit to verify that the humidity would get high down here, and it did. It got close to around 50%, which is pretty much the max you want it to get to before mold problems start to occur. So we're going to want to head out today to get a dehumidifier for down here as well to control that humidity problem. We just got back from the grocery store, so we now have a nice fully stocked fridge with the exception of a few things. Those little beverages have been hanging out there for a while. These condiment items were already in our apartment fridge. We just brought them here in the move. I'm loving this fridge though. It is a Frigidaire. I'm not sure of the exact like make and model because our home did come with all appliances already installed and included, but this is what she looks like for a quick fridge tour. Very deep and spacious. We've had absolutely no issues trying to find room for anything in here. We have it set up just as it came. It had a nice shelf here. This little drink organizer where you can just pull drinks out like so. That's from Amazon, so not included with the fridge. But you have a nice shelf on the top here. You have some shelving going on the right side of the fridge, and then just a big open space. We have some drawers for produce. This one is going to be our fruits drawer, so I have some apples in there, and then this is going to be veggies, so I have a head of lettuce, an avocado, and an onion. And then down here is our deli drawer, so we just have some meats and cheeses in there for right now. The side door on the left has some condiments and miscellaneous items, the butter penthouse of course. On the right side I have a little section for my coffee items like my iced coffee and my creamer, and then just some two miscellaneous little Hershey's syrups. I will sometimes use this caramel one in coffee. This one I will like never use, but because it is a Hershey syrup, I put them together. Some sparkling water beverages and then some soda overflow. This has yet to be properly organized. Like this is kind of a chaotic mess right in here. We just kind of threw stuff in there for right now, but we will get to it later. But that's what the fridge looks like. Super nice. And the water dispenser is also amazing. We have a drawer freezer, a chest freezer. So in the main area right here, we have some bigger items, frozen meats, frozen pizzas, like frozen breads and sides, a big gallon of vanilla ice cream. And then on this upper level drawer right here, we have some of the smaller frozen items, some frozen waffles, frozen ice cream treats, frozen meals, miscellaneous things. Nice fully stocked fridge to start off. And then our pantry, of course, also really nicely stocked with plenty of good items. Also very much in disarray right now, but I'm thinking eventually I'll want to put some little acrylic organizers in here to just make it look a little more together, because right now everything's just loosely thrown in there and you can't really, it can only get so organized when it's just all loosely there. But this right here reminds me exactly why I'm so thankful to have a pantry in this home, because it looks a lot better behind a closed door where you can't see it. So grocery shopping is complete, definitely making this house a little bit more like a home little by little. Now we need to head out and grab that dehumidifier. My pockets have been hurting lately. Like my credit card is probably screaming right now because you can't get a break. I just spent $800 at my optometry appointment, my eye appointment, on contact lenses, on the appointment itself, everything the insurance would not cover. $800 every year to be able to see. And then I have people like my fiance that don't even have this expense in their lives, and I'm just envious of that. But it was just extra painful pulling up my credit card anticipating that expense this time, because I've been putting literally everything on my credit card, like the U-Haul costs on my credit card, the dining set that we just got on my credit card, the groceries on my credit card. But it's a few days later now. If you couldn't tell, we are still in the rental, and I need to go return this guy because I just got the call that my vehicle is ready to pick up. It's been fully repaired. So in order to return this, I do need to gas it up, make sure the gas tank is full so I don't get charged that extra little fee. But then from there, I just need to head to my body shop where I got my personal vehicle fixed, and then they'll just take the keys to this rental vehicle and work with Enterprise to get it back to Enterprise. So they're making it about as easy on me as they possibly could have, which I love. But yeah, let's go gas this up and then get back to our girl, reunite with our girl again, because this has felt a little bit like I'm cheating on my car. When I'm in this car, I feel like one of those girls that like has a main best friend that they hang out with. So then whenever they're around any other friend, they're like, yeah, this is cool, but like, it's not my best friend. It's not my best friend we're talking about here. Like, that's how I feel in this car a little bit. Let's head to the gas station and then to the body shop. We are back, and I could not be happier to say that I am finally sitting back in my vehicle again, and we are able to say that this is behind us. This has been resolved. I checked out the work they did already, and it looks great. So I am very much looking forward to getting her back in the garage in her rightful space where she belongs. I'm so excited to get her out of here finally, but I already know it's going to feel so weird to drive this vehicle again. I found out I think I have a light foot when it comes to hitting the gas, because in the rental car, I had to press my foot down so hard to get it to even slightly accelerate, whereas in here it's just a tap and I'm good and I'm going. I've also just missed the general feeling of having everything I need in here, my little lip glosses and things. All of my stuff that was in this car I transferred into this bag, so I've had nothing of mine in that rental car for fear that I'm going to leave it in there and not get it back. I just didn't want to do the transfer and risk losing anything. And then I also have my Bluetooth in here, and I love the technology in this car. I feel like it's so much more smooth and seamless than it was in the car that I had. Even just all the controls, to have all those super familiar to me again. Like, it was pretty similar layout wise. Like, I knew where to find the windshield wipers because obviously it's raining today and those are a pretty universal thing to have in a pretty universal spot. But like, yeah, it just feels good to not have to search for the butt warmer button and just be able to like reach over blindly and push it, because I know by muscle memory where it is. You don't know what you got till it's gone. The credit card is going on vacation. She's getting a break. Okay, she's taking her time off for PTO, because tell me why I get in my car, I push to start, and I see that my gas is at like 1/8 of a tank. And obviously I gave my car to the body shop with 1/8 of a tank of gas in it, but I just forgotten that I did that. So it was just a bit of a disappointment to have to think about after just getting my car back. Didn't set myself up for success there. So we had to run back to that same gas station I had already been at like 15 minutes prior, give them some more of my money. I'm very optimistic though that after this month our credit cards will be able to kind of go into hibernation, because I feel like a lot of the money that was needing to be spent has been spent. We are very fortunate to have parents and relatives that want to help us out with furnishing our home by actually purchasing us furniture as wedding gifts for our wedding in August. Timing really worked out that way. So we have a lot of people offering to purchase things for us to help us furnish the home and contribute to the little vision that I had showed you in a previous video. We have plans to get a couch and an entertainment center sooner than later, and then a bed as well pretty soon. So I'm really excited about those things and feeling so blessed and thankful and glad to have such a generous family. And to be honest, we would not at all be filling the house this fast with furniture if it weren't for our families. So very thankful for them. If you'd like to see the furniture we picked out for our space, definitely stay tuned for the next video, because we're going to be unloading that and putting it all together. The vision for the main floor of the home will be completed in the next video, so I really hope you'll be there to see it. I'll give you the rundown on some of the other home projects going on, our grass, our landscaping, our concrete, and just general updates regarding living in the home and getting settled. So with that, that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you so much for being here, as always, to share these moments with me. I hope you have a really great week, and I will see you very soon in the next one.